Huge move in Hims and Hers stock today. The stock is down about 15% as I'm recording at 1:30 Eastern time. And the big news for today is that semaglutide, which is the compounded GLP-1 that Hims and Hers makes, potentially a huge growth avenue for the company, could be coming off shortage. And this is based on data that's coming from the FDA. Now, the market has been all over the place with projections on what's going on with GLP-1s. Hims and Hers is not growing on the back of branded GLP-1s. They are making their own compounded GLP-1s. Semaglutide is the one that they have right now. Tirzepatide is another one. That one came off shortage recently. The stock dropped when that came off shortage, despite the fact that it's not actually a product that Hims and Hers makes. Now, this is a fairly small business for Hims and Hers today, but the market is extremely focused on GLP-1s and what the potential is for the company. So I want to go through why the stock dropped today, and then earnings are coming out next week. So management is going to, I'm sure, discuss a lot about what's going on with GLP-1s, but keep an eye on those other products too. So I want to get to this news today. My name is Travis Hoyam. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. If you want more content from me, check out my newsletter, Asymmetric Investing. There's a link on the screen. There's also a link in the show notes. I'm going to be back in just a second with the latest about Hims and Hers. Heads up, folks, interest rates are falling, but you can lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account from public.com today. And this is a pretty big deal because when interest rates drop, so can the interest you earn on your investments. A bond account allows you to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment grade corporate bonds. And you can see on the screen an example of what this looks like. The great thing is you know exactly what you're buying. So while other people are out there watching their returns shrink, you can sit back with a regular interest payment, but you might want to act fast because your yield's not locked in until you invest. The good news is it only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at public.com, lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account only at public.com/ASYM. This is the page on the FDA website that everybody is so concerned about today. This is the availability of and Wegovy. These are both semaglutide GLP-1 products, and this right here says that all of them are available. Now, these are technically currently in shortage, but typically when they become available, that's when the FDA goes back and reconsiders, do they need to end that shortage? And that shortage is the reason that Hims and Hers can make a compounded GLP-1 product in the first place. The other news was that Eli Lilly reported their results after the market closed yesterday. Zepbound sales are $1.26 billion. This is their tirzepatide product. That was a little bit below analyst estimates. So demand for these products may not be what analysts were previously expecting. That will likely mean that the shortage will end quicker. That will mean that the very small business that Hims and Hers currently has in GLP-1s could be ending relatively soon. Now, this shouldn't be a huge surprise. The loophole that Hims and Hers is using to make GLP-1s was likely going to end when all these products came off shortage. That was going to happen given the fact that there's so many billions of dollars involved here. But this could be a growth avenue that Hims and Hers isn't going to have available for much longer. So we'll see what the details look like next week when they report earnings. But I do want to put these numbers into a little bit of context because GLP-1s have only been available from Hims and Hers since June. This is not a product that the company's historical growth is built on. So when you look at their revenue growth over the past couple of years, this is not really driven by Hims and Hers. Management said that the entire weight loss segment, which launched late in 2023, was only at a $100 million run rate at the end of the second quarter. That means $25 million per quarter at the end of the second quarter. Very, very little of that came from GLP-1s. So should your thesis around Hims and Hers be broken because one product is going to potentially come off shortage and not be able to be sold? I don't really think so, because there's a few options for the future for Hims and Hers. They could find a way around the end of the shortage. Management has talked about that. We'll see what they discuss in the conference call. They could also begin selling more and more branded products. Those are much more expensive than the price point that Hims and Hers was offering, so maybe not as appealing to their consumers, but definitely an option for the company. And keep in mind that the core business, the rest of the products, hair loss, ED, all their other weight loss products are also continuing to grow. So I still continue to think about Hims and Hers as a platform business. This is a business that's disrupting the traditional relationship between a doctor and patient and also pharmacies. That's a very old, stodgy business. And in a world where Hims and Hers is going to continue to grow, you're going to have more availability to get what you want when you want it in a much more convenient way. I think that's what you're ultimately investing in with hims and hers. And that thesis is not broken in any way by anything that happens with GLP-1s. Of course, it would be great if GLP-1s were available at the low cost that they're selling them for in the future. It could be a growth driver for the business. But I think looking 5-10 years out from now, and that's where I'm worried about, this news today or any of the GLP-1 news over the last couple of weeks doesn't fundamentally break that thesis. But like I said, I'll be back next week when earnings are reported to go over everything that we learned. If you want more about hims and hers, check out asymmetric investing. It's one of the stocks that I have in the asymmetric investing portfolio, so I'm definitely bullish on the future of hims and hers. And don't forget to subscribe here on this channel. Let me know what you think about the GLP-1 news and hims and hers in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.